I'm Daisy.
And I'm Francisco.
And welcome to Channel 6 News.
Today we'll be talking about the Indian subcontinent.
Indian subcontinent is located in the southern region and peninsula of Asia, mostly simulated on the Indian plate and projecting southwards into Indian Ocean from the Himalayas. The population of the Indian subcontinent is astonishingly 1.324 billion people.
Whoa, that's a lot of people! The Indian subcontinent has also 24 high courts, including civil courts, criminal courts, and many more. Now it's time for our first segment, government. In different countries in the Indian subcontinent, they have started different elections and systems. In Bangladesh, the parliamentary government started in 1975. In Sri Lanka, the general election started in 2004 that will change Sri Lanka forever. In medieval republic started in March 1975. And Nepal monarchy system started in November 9, 1990. Lastly, in Pakistan, viceroyal system started in October 1999. Now it's time for a short segment with Daisy. Let's get into more detail about the Indian subcontinent.
Industrial policy innovates undertaken by the government since July 1991 and have been designed to build on the past industrial achievements and to accelerate the process, making Indian industry internationally competitive. Developed countries have surpluses in agriculture products for exports. With this industrialization in the Indian subcontinent, the increase in the available farmland was primarily due to the development of irrigation and canal networks in Punjab, Narmada Valley, and Andhra Pradesh. Lastly, the textile industry is one of the biggest components of the Indian economy today and accounts for 21% of employed workers in India.
Thank you, Daisy. We'll be right back.
Ever tired of the same old comic books?
Yeah.
Looking for something new and interesting?
Yeah!
For a comic book that'll help you in history too?
Yeah!
Now you can introduce the imperialism comic books. Look, these comics were made in the late 1700s by opponents of allegedly aggressive imperial policies of British Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli.
Wow, that is so cool!
See, these were born because they show how imperialism affected India.
Wow. Where can you find these comic books?
Well, you can find them at stores or Library New Year. Also coming soon, they'll be coming to Apple Store and Google Play. Hurry, get yours soon.
Welcome back.
For our last story, we'll be talking about how World War I affected the Indian subcontinent.
If you're very emotional, please change the channel. The Indian subcontinent made a huge contribution to Britain's war effort.
Millions of people volunteered for the Great War. 1.5 million to be exact.
In total, over 74,000 Indian soldiers died during.
Fun fact, about 40% of the Pakistan
Wow, very interesting. In World War I, the Indian Army fought against the German Empire in the East, in German East Africa, and on the Western Front. At the First Battle of Ypres, Khan became the first Indian to be awarded a Victoria Cross.
If you don't know what the Victoria Cross is, it is the highest and most prestigious award of the British honor system. On to the next section on how imperialism affected the Indian subcontinent.
Okay, between 1640 and 1949, India was ruled by two periods of imperialism, both of which affected India in both a profound and permanent manner. Okay, the first period of control was between 1740 and 1858.
During this period, the British East India Company controlled the Indian subcontinent over economic imperialism.
Most governments in India protect citizens from abuses by the government because the founders of the nation think that protecting the government's power and protecting the liberty was the most important role. The steps that nations in India have taken to eliminate government abuses of power against people are the existing policies and the enforcement measures because it is important to guard against human rights abuses. In the past 2 years, more than 200 people have been detained on the continuing crackdown on criticism in China. Something that needs to be done to improve government and their impact on India is that the population needs to be reduced because it's too expensive, and the government needs to increase tax rate in healthcare. Also, the liability needs to be better. The human rights violations that are attributed to the government in India had an issue because of the Indians' large size and population. There are widespread poverty and lack of proper education, but they do have a freedom of speech and religion. There has been election fraud in India in the last 10 years, and the form of concerns it took included a multi-million-dollar deal, suspicious transactions, swindling of government scholarships, floating very costly tenders, and granting fishing contracts. The way new leaders are determined in India is by having the head of the government, which is the Prime Minister, appointed by the Lok Sabha instead of being directly elected by voters. The Lok Sabha elects the leader, Prime Minister in the party holding a majority. Most governments in India react to civil protests by violent crowds, protests, and riots. And that puts a serious strain on the foundation of the society.
We would like to thank you for watching this very special newscast on Channel 6.
Thank you and have a good night.
Indian subcontinent is subcontinent.
One, go. Now it's our time.
Accelerate the process of making India.
In Sri Lanka, the general election started in 2004.
The industrial policy innovates internationally competitive. Developed countries have surpluses in agriculture projects for exports. With this this is so bad. In subcontinent, the increase in the available farmland was primarily due to the development of
Go! Count down!
Go! Look, these comments were made in the late 1700s by opponents of allegedly aggressive imperial policies of British Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli. Hurry, get yours soon!
Whoa. Next story we'll be talking about how...
Welcome back. The Indian subcontinent made a huge contribution to Britain's war effort.
millions of people bought...
No! Okay, go again. Okay. The Indian subcontinent made a huge contribution to Britain's war effort.
Dude, I laughed.
Okay, in total, over 60...
Fun fact, about 40% of the soldiers in the Pakistan... I don't know what's facts. Fun fact, about 40% of the Indians... You cracked it.
I know, that's what I said. For one, the Indian army fought against the German Empire in German East
Could
Africa.
you be any more monotone?
Okay, you literally... Do you want me to be laughing? I have to restart. Can you not, like, interrupt this time?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
3,
I'm going!
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1.
Khan became the first Indian to be awarded a Victoria Cross.
If you don't know what the Victoria Cross... Okay, buddy. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, he glared at me. I was like...
Oh, go. Okay. Wow, very interesting. In World War I, the Indian Army fought against the German Empire in the German East Africa and on the Western Front. at the First Battle of Ypres. Wait.
Period. The British East India Company controlled the Indian subcontinent under the guise of economic imperialism. During this period, the British East India Company